recent years, free agency has been a huge topic of discussion amongst wrestling fans, with the competition for talent the strongest it's been since the late 90s, leading to some exciting jumps from one top company to another. As we enter 2023, the pro wrestling free agency market is beginning to heat up once again, with many of the business's top stars currently finding themselves without a contract. Whilst we recently covered the top upcoming free agents in wrestling, today we discuss the biggest stars that are currently not under contract and are free to join a promotion of their choosing as we enter into the new year. So with that said, let's take a look at the 10 hottest free agents in wrestling today. Viewed as one of the most underrated luchadors in the world, Mascara Dorada gained popularity once he joined WWE as Gran Metalik, where he teamed up with Kalisto and Lince Dorada to form the Lucha House Party stable. Due to poor booking by WWE, he requested his release, which was eventually accepted, and since then he's wrestled for a number of companies including New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, Ring of Honor, and All Elite Wrestling. Whilst he's worked for some of the biggest promotions in the world in 2022, he is still technically a free agent and does not have an exclusive contract, meaning he would be a great get for any promotions looking to add a touch of lucha to their ranks. A WWE return under the new Triple H regime could be possible, or perhaps a full-time switch to Ring of Honor or All Elite Wrestling could be on the table. Another possibility is a return to CMLL, where he worked for 9 years before his time in WWE, where he won many different title belts. TNA original Eric Young returned to Impact after his WWE release before going on to win his second Impact World Championship, and was involved in feuds with the likes of Rich Swann and Eddie Edwards before forming his own stable called Violent by Design. The VBD would go on to win the tag team titles before losing them to the Good Brothers, before winning them again and losing them to the Briscoes. In December 2022, Young would be shockingly killed off of Impact Television by Violent by Design stablemate Dina in a move not often seen on a wrestling show. This was done to write Eric off of television as his Impact contract had expired, making him a free agent with options on the table. According to PW Insider, Young is set to return to WWE, with there being hints by Nikki Cross at a reunion of the Sanity faction, although for now there is no word on if a contract has been signed, meaning there is still a chance that plans could change. And speaking of TNA legends, James Storm is another candidate to make a return to a major wrestling promotion in the coming year. Storm made a name for himself as a tag team specialist in Impact, winning their world tag titles 7 times before winning the TNA World Championship in his own right. In 2022, he made appearances for Impact, OVW, and many more independent companies as a freelancer, meaning he is still a free agent. Earlier this year, he hinted at a possible jump to WWE to reunite with former tag team partner Bobby Roode under the Triple H regime, but he did admit that this was unlikely, although not impossible. He would be a valuable asset to any locker room in the final stretch of his career, and I wouldn't rule out one last rodeo for the Cowboy in a top wrestling promotion. Whether it be in WWE to reunite BM Money with Bobby Roode, a singles run in AEW, or maybe one last main event push in Impact Wrestling. Former Impact Knockouts champion Chelsea Green has been in the news as of late, as she recently lost her Knockouts World Tag titles at the Bound for Glory pay-per-view, before later falling short in a loser leaves town match against veteran Mickie James, writing her off of Impact Wrestling television. On top of this, she would lose her last match in NWA and hasn't wrestled since November, before recently closing down her OnlyFans page as a sign of things to come. Of course, it appears that the reason for this is because Chelsea is set to re-sign with WWE, with Triple H looking to add more television experience to the main roster women's divisions. The story has been backed up by multiple sources, and according to Fightful Select, the move is happening, although whether the contract has been officially signed is still unknown. It's not impossible that the move could be intercepted by another major promotion, which is why she makes this list, but Green is almost certainly set to show up on Raw or SmackDown in the coming weeks. Matt Cardona has established himself as one of the most popular, or unpopular depending on who you ask, free agents on the planet since his release from WWE early on in the pandemic era. He's gone on to hold the GCW and NWA World Championships, along with the Impact Digital Media Championship, using his past as a WWE superstar to garner often unmatched heel heat. Although it seems like he enjoys his flexible schedule right now, which allows him to run his own wrestling figure company alongside his Major Wrestling Figure podcast, a return to a major promotion could be in the works if reports are to be believed. According to Dave Meltzer in the Wrestling Observer newsletter, there are talks in WWE for the former Zack Ryder to make a return alongside his real-life wife Chelsea Green, with the E! Network interested in a possible reality show centered around the couple. Cardona has added fuel to the rumor fire on social media as of late before telling Chris Van Vliet that he still dreams of winning the WWE Championship. Kylie Rae was amongst the first signings of All Elite Wrestling, however her tenure with the company would be amongst its shortest, with her leaving the promotion just a few months after her only appearance at Double or Nothing. After leaving AEW, she would appear in Impact, where she challenged for the Knockouts Championship before announcing her retirement, only to return once again signing with NWA. Kylie has since revealed that she's been dealing with a number of issues in her personal life in recent years, which has placed a number of speed bumps in her way. However, it seems that she's overcome her demons and is set for her most significant run to date. Following her New Japan debut in October, Rae would make an appearance on WWE Main Event under the name Brianna Ray, losing to Dana Brooke. This after a recent tryout at the Performance Center. With that said, no contract has been signed and she remains a free agent, with other national promotions likely having their eye on her after a recent WWE debut. Trent Seven was a big part of NXT UK, forming part of a stable named British Strong Style alongside Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. Seven won both the NXT UK and the NXT tag titles during his time with WWE Developmental, this before his release from the company in August 2022. Since then, he's made 2 appearances in All Elite Wrestling, both on AEW Rampage, the first match being against Orange Cassidy for the All-Atlantic title as fellow Englishman Kip Sabian's hand-picked opponent, whilst the latest was part of an 8-man tag match where he was on the losing side. After appearing in the crowd at the Ring of Honor Final Battle pay-per-view in December 2022, Tony Khan himself hinted specifically at more ROH appearances in the future, although there is still no contract in place. There's also a chance that Triple H could have his eye on Trent's services, given his tendency to rehire many former NXT stars to the main roster, although this remains to be seen. Mandy Rose has been the star of the NXT women's division for the past year, with her evolving in front of the audience's eyes, becoming one of the most talked about talents WWE had at their disposal. After holding the NXT Women's Championship for 413 days, her run would come to an abrupt end on December 13th, with her dropping her belt to Roxanne Perez, before being released by the company one day later. The release would come after WWE caught wind on the type of content that she was posting on her FanTime page, which is an OnlyFans alternative, with her showing off more than the WWE PG brand allows. Despite the seemingly bad news, the release would only bring more eyes to her side project, with her agent revealing that she's set to become a self-made millionaire due to the extra exposure. Whilst a return to WWE seems unlikely, with her having to give up a significant revenue stream to do so, a move to AEW or Impact Wrestling shouldn't be ruled out if they allowed her to do both at the same time. This would not only add an extra source of income, but it would also give her national television exposure to keep her page as relevant as possible, avoiding a slow decline in subscribers that being off TV would bring. Sasha Banks' real name Mercedes Varnado is one of the most decorated women's wrestlers in WWE history, being a former women's champion of SmackDown, Raw, and NXT. With that said, she's now left the company after Banks and her then fellow women's tag team champion Naomi would walk out on WWE due to creative disagreements with the former regime. This leads us to where we are today, and whilst Naomi's contract status is unknown, Banks would negotiate her release in June 2022, this according to Wrestling Inc., although she would be required to agree to a 6-month non-compete clause, preventing her from making any wrestling-related appearances until January 2023. The timing couldn't be more perfect, as according to multiple sources, she's set to make her New Japan Pro Wrestling debut on January 4th at Wrestle Kingdom. With that said, there's been no confirmation and if the contract has been signed, meaning a last-minute hijack from WWE can't be ruled out. A debut in All Elite Wrestling is also a strong possibility given their relationship with New Japan, with Saraya still looking for a partner for the LA Forum Dynamite on January 11th. And before we continue, if you want to see more list-based content as opposed to just news, let me know by dropping a like on the video and let me know what you want to see in the comments down below, and that's something that I can track and maybe produce more. And also make sure you're subscribed to the channel, we have notifications turned on so you don't miss the latest wrestling news. WCW legend Goldberg has been a controversial character since his WWE return, and although he always brings intensity and a big match feel to the occasion, audiences have grown wary of his sudden appearances in main event title matches with zero build. Most recently, he lost a Universal Championship match to Roman Reigns at the 2022 Elimination Chamber event, and he hasn't wrestled since, with there being no more matches left on his deal. His contract with the company is set to expire at the end of this month, and there's no word on if Triple H sees any value in him, with his most recent loss to the company's top star Roman Reigns being a good endpoint to his WWE career. The only other company that are likely to be able to afford him would be AEW, although this is unlikely to be received well by its fan base. With that said, he would be a big money draw, and if they somehow captured the magic of early WCW Goldberg and avoided pushing him straight into the AEW World title picture, there is business to be done, and the right booking could lead to him elevating stars such as Wardlow and Powerhouse Hobbs to the next level. And before you go, make sure you check out 10 upcoming wrestling free agents that you need to know.